Where does the time go to?
Would you like a sandwich before the meeting?
Oh, no, Harry, love. Committee won't be here till 6:30.
I hope they don't stay as long as they did last time.
There's no need for you to wait up.
I was really thinking of you. You've had a very hard day.
Charles should be here at the weekend. He's not going to find it easy at that farm.
I gathered that. Couldn't help smiling when I heard you so forceful on the telephone. Do you know, if you spoke to the bishop's chaplain like that, he'd put you through immediately. I'm certain that if you talked to the bishop and explained the position, he'd give you the go-ahead to get another curate.
I'll keep trying.
Did you know that Morris's replacement is a woman?
He mentioned it on the way back from the hospital. He's impressed. She's very well qualified, apparently, and young.
I wonder what brings her to Beckendale.
Right, Mr. Pearson, if you'd like to get dressed now.
Oh, thank you, Robert. Well, of course, it only catches me now and again. It's, well, I'm in mourning, like. It's, I thought it were because I was using a different tobacco.
You shouldn't really be using tobacco at all, you know.
Well, I've got to smoke something. I'd be lost without my pipe.
I'm giving you a prescription for some tablets and a cough mixture. Also, I'd like you to have an X-ray at the hospital.
Hey, hospital?
Just a precautionary measure. You've got a bit of congestion.
Oh.
Perhaps your daughter could call in for a letter and make an appointment for you next week.
Yeah.
In the meantime, take it easy. Have a day or two in bed.
Thank you.
Of course, you could always hitchhike and save the money.
What? And miss the opportunity of travelling in style, girl? What do you take me for? This is my big chance. The only time I travelled first class before, I got chucked off by the guard. I had to stand all the way to Swansea.
Well, don't let it go to your head. You haven't got anything in writing yet, you know.
I do wish Gwen would get back.
Well, I'll let her know what's happened.
She might not like it, see? She's a bit funny like that. She's a bit possessive with me. Still, you can't blame her, can you?
Well, why don't you wait till the morning?
No, I could get to Birmingham by tonight. I could stay with Keith and Johnny. It'll be like old times again, then I can go on to the valley in the morning. It'll break the journey up.
I wish I knew what this guy Phelps was up to.
Oh, he seems a nice enough fella to me.
Oh, right smoothie.
Anyway, I must be off. Thanks for doing the ironing for me.
Hey, give my love to the gang at art school, won't you? If any of them care. Now watch it. Don't go telling anything to anybody, especially Keith and Johnny.
But they're my pals, aren't they? They're my oppos.
Look, if this guy Phelps is really genuine, this could snowball into something very big for you. They've got pubs and hotels all over Yorkshire.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm being serious.
You don't trust anyone, do you?
I learnt the hard way, by experience.
Wish I could offer you a room. But there's not ready, of course. I've had a terrible time with builders. The mess. A terrible time. You see, that's what's been making me a bit edgy. That and staff problems. I mean, normally you couldn't find a happier sort of chap. Noted for it, I am.
You're not married, Mr. Brearley?
No, but I've got prospects. Can't say too much, you understand. News travels fast round here.
Well, it's not essential.
Oh, well then.
But it would certainly help you out on the catering side.
Aye, I've been dogged with bad luck on that score. But if you can hang on, I've got some lovely fresh sausage rolls coming down later.
I'm afraid not. I'm expected in Doncaster at 8 o'clock.
Aye, busy man like you, no time to call his own. I'm on lookout for staff all the time, Mr. Phelps, believe me.
Amos, have you seen Gwen?
Yeah, not been in here.
Oh, funny. Oh, well,
Will you have a drink with me?
all right. I'll have a shandy, please.
Are you sure?
Positive.
Well, let's go and sit over there.
I'll bring it over. Another one for you, Mr. Phelps.
No, thank you. David not with you?
He's in Kidwelly, remember?
Oh, yes. Doing it in a hurry.
Well, his motto is, strike while the iron's hot.
And what's your motto?
Beware of Greeks bearing gifts.
What do you think of the Woolpack?
Oh, it's as good as anywhere else. I worked in a pub once when I was a student. Certainly opened my eyes a bit. Thank you.
We'll be starting up here as a hotel soon, a few weeks.
I heard.
We're on the lookout for staff. Receptionists, for instance.
Well, that requires training, doesn't it?
Well, we have training facilities.
Are you offering me a job?
Well, it's worth thinking about, isn't it? Would David object?
David? Oh, he's not my... He's just a friend of a friend.
Well, have a word with Brearley if you're interested. I must be on my way. Tell David I'll get in touch.
You took your time. Stopping at the wool pack, did you?
Oh, nay. I couldn't face alcohol, Annie. Oh, nay, I've got congestion. I've got lung trouble. Come down here, best dear. I've got lung trouble, aye. Besides, Matt wanted to get back to Peggy and twins. Oh,
All right, Dad, you made your point.
aye, God. Oh, yes. I've got to take great care, Annie. I've got to have a week or two in bed, doctor said.
Bet you're glad I made you go now.
Aye. Where's Joe?
Oh, finished milking, had his tea, gone out. Only waiting for you now.
I've got to have an X-ray and all. Precautionary measure, lady said.
Lady? What lady?
Dr. Scott.
Who?
Oh, didn't you know? Oh, in place of old Morris Grant, we're having a lady doctor.
Oh, there's a turn-up for the book. What did Amos say?
No, but when I told him, his eyes stuck out like chapel hat pegs. Oh, she's a real bit of class. Oh. No, she's not but a young un. Same age as our Jack, I'd say.
She must be a clever lass to have a practice of her own so soon, like.
She knows her stuff all right. Hey, what you done with my box?
It's behind the sofa there.
Oh, that's all right then. But I want to sleep on that tonight.
Want to sleep on what tonight?
On sofa.
Oh, you're not starting that again. Sleeping on sofa.
Well, it's silly my sleeping upstairs and giving all my germs to Joe at night.
Well, you'd rather stop down here and give more to me, indeed.
Well, I'm better down here. It'll save your legs.
It's all planned, haven't you?
Nay, I'm just trying to be thoughtful.
Did she give you any medicine?
Oh, all right. Prescription for tablets and mixture.
Oh, I'll say one thing for her. You can read her writing. Claire Scott.
Ain't it a lovely name, eh? I once took a lass called Claire to Farley.
Sorry I'm late. Amy Postlethwaite kept me talking for nearly an hour.
Amy Postle.
Yeah, she runs the village store, arthritic, hay fever tablets in June, September flu injections, and a bottle of whiskey for my retirement.
It sounds as though you've earned it.
Yeah. How'd surgery go?
I enjoyed it.
Old Sam Pearson. Haven't seen much of him lately. He had a rough time a few months ago after spending the night in a cowshed helping a cow to calve. He was fit as a fiddle last time I ran into him.
I think he was rather shocked at the idea of having a woman GP.
Probably turn out to be almost regular patient now if I know Sam, and I wouldn't blame him. Hungry?
Starving. Must be the country air.
Get plenty of that here. I'm going to treat you to dinner tonight.
Oh, no.
Certainly. After taking my surgery for me, the least I can do is to buy you a decent meal. I'll introduce you to the country club. That'll give them something to talk about. Not only is our new doctor highly efficient, but she's a damn sight better looking than old Grant. Yes. Hello? Yes? Oh, yes. Yeah. Well, Mrs. Lumley, keep Johnny in bed. Give him plenty of milk and water, no fruit of any kind. We'll let nature take its course tonight, and I'll leave a prescription in the hall for you to pick up in the morning. Have you got all that? Right. Tell me, where was it kept? Was it marked? In a... Well, there you are, then. Either throw it away or put it on a top shelf out of reach. Right? Goodbye. Isn't it marvelous? There are 6 children in that house, and she leaves a lemonade bottle full of peroxide on the kitchen table. She was going to do her hair later. It's a miracle he didn't drink the lot, but even Johnny's cast-iron stomach couldn't take that.
How old is he?
4. You'll be lucky if it reaches 5 in that house. Am I putting you off?
Making me nervous.
Yeah.
By the way, what are all these little drawings on the file cards?
Oh, that's my spy-proof code. This bottle on this one is a tippler. 1 cross C of E, 2 Roman Catholic.
And what about this one with the heart on it? Thrombosis?
Oh, yes. Well, you needn't bother about that. Emotional widow, lonely type. Well, are you coming, Scotty? You know, I once knew a Dr. Scott in Leeds. He was quite a youngster then. It must be, 35 years ago. As he made quite a name for himself as a specialist in London. He got a knighthood in last year's honours list. Gerald Scott, you know him?
Yes, he's my father.
Themselves. Hello, Joe. But the meaning and the thought behind those words. Now, I assume you read the booklet I gave you.
Oh, aye, sir. But I still want to be confirmed. So, what about these classes, then?
Well, as this is a special circumstance, I thought happened it'd be best if I came here.
Oh, thank you, sir. Well, I wouldn't like to let you down in front of folk.
Oh, no, Sam, I didn't mean that.
Too embarrassing, you mean, for you, keeping up with young uns.
Hold your noise! I'm sorry, Vicar. I've been studying Bible and all. Oh, it's a good book. I wish print weren't so small, though. My eyes aren't what they used to be.
You don't miss much.
So I'm very glad you brought back Family One. I can see that clear. I've been reading Job. I hope it's all right, my reading Old Testament, sir. Well, I thought I'd better start at beginning, like.
Well, of course. Well, it's time I was getting along.
Thank you.
Now, when would it be best for me to call back?
Oh, you please yourself, sir. I'm here all day. Doctor says I ought to stay in bed for a bit.
All right, well, what about me looking in on Monday, then?
Oh, that'll be fine, sir. And I'll get Annie to lay a fire in parlour. We'll be more private there.
No, don't trouble yourself. It's all right, I'll let myself out, Sam.
Joe!
Oh, no, don't disturb yourself. Bye-bye, Joe.
Bye, Vicar.
Fancy letting Vicar use back door.
He's just like you and me, you know. No but folk.
You know, it'd do you good to have some religious instruction. Teach you a few manners.
Hello, anybody there?
In here.
Oh, it's coming on. Looks quite nice. I just happened to be passing, thought I'd drop in for a word. Haven't seen you for a couple of days.
Been working on these for the vicar.
What are they then? Oh, posters, eh? Oh, very nice too. Full of colour, like. I could maybe hang one up in pub for you. Eh? I were wondering. I wondered if you'd thought any more about what we were discussing night before last.
What?
You know, a receptionist job. We asked you if you'd like to do it.
Oh, well, that would depend.
Good wages, nice working conditions, and I'm not difficult to work for, so long as staff do job properly.
Yes, but what would the hours be?
Morning and afternoon one day, afternoon and evening next. Work would have to be done in shifts, you see. Mind, I'd have to discuss it with my head office first. Plans haven't all been finalised as yet, you understand.
Well, I'll have to talk it with the others. You see, that's how we do things. Share alike.
Well, so long as you don't bring your politics into the hotel, I don't care what you believe in. That David's not back yet, then?
No.
Mr. Phelps were telling me we were thinking of buying some of his pictures off him.
That's right.
Oh, well, I can't say as I go along with the idea. Still, we'll have to wait and see what they look like, won't they? I am licensee, and they're duty-bound to ask my opinion first. I'm one that's got to live with 'em after all.
I hope you don't mind drinking tea in the kitchen, Mrs. Ruskin. It's the warmest place for Dad.
Not at all.
You know, we ought to use front parlour more often. I was saying to Vicar earlier we'll have a fire in there on Monday. Great, we're going on. We won't be using it till I'm laid out.
Well, would you like a biscuit? Oh. They're homemade.
Yes, I would. Very good. Isn't it cosy in here? Reminds me of my grandparents' farm. I used to spend a lot of time there as a little girl.
I thought you used to live in Liverpool.
Oh, no. We went to live there when I was married. And then we came here 8 months later. Actually, I was brought up in a little village rather like this. My father was the parson.
Oh, not like keeping it in the family. Still, it's a lot of hard work, I imagine. Taking on other people's troubles all the time.
It's a calling.
Ah, I thought man, but no one thinks it wife.
I'm just off. Oh, sorry. Didn't know you had company.
Come in. You know Joe, don't you, Mrs. Ruskin?
Yes, I do. But I haven't seen him in church recently.
Oh, well, it's a bit awkward, you know, with the...
Oh, he's too busy courting to go to church, but happen he'll want to be there on the day he's wed.
Mrs. Ruskin's come to see Grandad.
Oh.
Ah, she brought me that lovely cineraria, look.
Oh, very nice. If you'll excuse me, I'm just nipping into Bradford to see their motorbikes.
You'll be careful what you spend your money on. And don't make your mind up today, eh?
Right. See you again, Mrs. Ruskin.
Don't they grow fast?
Ah, he's a grand lad. But I'm not very happy about this motorbike business. I never liked him. Dangerous.
Oh, he'll be all right, Annie. He's more careful now since he had that motor car accident.
Oh, I never thought. He could have waited a bit and given you a lift home.
Oh, I'll enjoy the walk. Besides, I have some shopping to do on the way home. Oh, how are your grandchildren?
The twins? Oh, they're fine. And Matt and Peggy are living at Jameson's now. Doing it up a treat, they are.
They'll be coming to see you for christening.
Would you like to see photos? I got them back from chemist today.
Oh, it's called after me, of course.
Here we are. That's Sally. Isn't she bonny? And that's Samuel. He's a terror. Never quiet for a second.
They are beautiful. You must be very proud of them.
Well, I am. There's no denying.
If they don't get spoilt.
If they do, it'll be you that does it.
A great-grandparent's privilege.
Of course. You've not got a family, have you?
No.
Still, it's just as well with all work involved in your line.
Well, if I'm to get to the shops...
Oh, what am I thinking of? You're wanting to be off.
Well, thank you for calling. It were a kindly thought, and cineraria is lovely.
You will come and see us again, won't you?
I'd like to. Goodbye.
Goodbye, and remember me to Vicar.
Yes, I will. Bye. Thank you for the tea.
Thank you.
See you soon.
I said wrong thing about her not having children. I never thought.
Happen.
Yeah. Well, that's the lot.
Well, if you have forgotten anything, I can always send it on.
Well, yes, that's a point, my new address.
25 The Cedars, Wessex Road, Eastbourne.
How did
I
you...
heard you mention it on the phone the other day, so I wrote it down.
Well, if you have any problems, don't hesitate to call me. Though, of course, you can always get in touch with Dr. Bonington at Houghton in an emergency. He's a good chap. You share the same locum, and you're... listen to me, wet nursing Sir Gerald Scott's daughter.
Oh, I'd like to think for once in my life I can get along without my father's influence.
Qualifications like yours don't come from family connections. You've got to earn them.
And then put them into practice.
Take your time. Let folk get to like you as a person. That's half the battle, winning their confidence.
That's why I wanted to do general practice. Hospital's all very well, but there just isn't time to establish personal contact.
Well, if you're half as happy as I've been, you'll find it rewarding enough. Now, I can't see you settling here for a lifetime. Oh, come on. Let's have a drink on Amy Postlethwaite. I've left a list of instructions upstairs explaining how everything works. And remember, Mrs. Castle comes on Tuesdays and Fridays to clean. When's your furniture arriving?
Monday, all being well. I'm staying another week at the Blue Boar in Houghton until I get sorted out.
Ah, yes. Well, here's to the future. Good luck, Scotty.
And I thought this one could go up in the church porch.
Oh, yes. You know, I like that. Oh, they're marvellous, all of them. You've worked very hard on them, thank you.
You know, I've been doing some weaving up at the old mill.
Oh, yes.
And Gwen makes rings and brooches and things, and I do some basket work. Well, I was thinking we could have a stall at the bazaar, sort of local handicrafts. It would make a change for you, and it would help us to let people know what we're about.
What a marvellous idea. Oh, but what about the expense?
Oh, well, provided we cover the cost of the materials on the things we sell, the profit can go to the church.
Right, I'll put it to the committee. It would be marvellous if people could actually see you doing the weaving.
Oh, that would be great.
Right, leave it with me. Now, look, I'd better pay you for these.
Oh,
won't I?
no.
Oh, no, come on.
No, I couldn't possibly charge you.
Well, if you hadn't done them, I would have had to have had them printed.
I tell you what, I won't put anything in the collection box on Sunday.
Yes, all right. But only if you're sure.
Could I ask your advice about something?
Yes, of course. Look, come and sit down a minute.
I've been offered a job here in Beckendale.
Oh?
Well, it would leave me time to paint. And I'd have some money coming in, too.
Yes, I see.
I've been thinking about Dad. How he was forever drifting from place to place. He was restless even before his accident. And I think I might have inherited some of it. I get scared sometimes. I think I might end up the same way.
I think that is very unlikely. But I do understand the feeling.
So do you think I ought to do it then, the job?
Well, now, that depends what it is, doesn't it?
Well, Mr. Brearley has asked me to be a receptionist at the Woolpack when it's turned into a hotel.
Hmm. Yes, I shouldn't think they'll need a receptionist for some time yet, but I can quite see that that would be very interesting. And if eventually you do feel you want to leave Beckendale, then, well, it's something you could do anywhere, isn't it?
Well, that's what I thought. I know it sounds funny, but I'd be quite keen to learn about...
Oh, what on earth's the matter?
Sorry. Back.
Come and sit down. Come on. Never mind about that. Penny, would you phone the doctor, love? It's 225. Take it very easy. Come on. Sit down, Jane.